Hey guys, I'm Arielle Schmidt, owner of Tranquility Rising here in Blue Ash, Ohio, and I'm really excited to be introducing one of our practitioners that's joining our practice. This is Katie Vinecourt, and she's just going to tell us a little bit about who she is, and then we're going to get into what it looks like to work with her in Ayurveda and what Ayurveda is. Okay, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Vinecourt. I like to call a holistic practitioner. I have a background in Ayurveda, so I have my master's in science in Ayurveda and integrative health. I'm a 500-hour registered yoga teacher, as well as Thai massage practitioner and Reiki master. I got into the wellness field about 6 years ago when I started my yoga training, and I kind of just went down the rabbit hole from there. And now I just like to do all things holistic, and I am really excited to bring the knowledge and tools that I've learned over the last couple of years to all of you at Tranquility Rising.
Awesome. So a lot of people don't have a clue what Ayurveda is. So give us a little idea of what it is in the grand scheme of thing, and then we'll kind of go into more detail about what it would look like to work with you one-on-one.
Yeah, it's funny because most people don't. And I remember the first time that I heard about Ayurveda, I was like, what is this amazing tool? I guess the most simplest way that I can explain it, and I'll get into it a little bit more in detail, it's the Indian version of Chinese medicine, is what I like to say, because most people know what Chinese medicine is. So, kind of a similar system, but instead of using the individual elements, we combine the elements to create the dosha, and it's created in India. On top of that health system in the world, Ayurveda means the knowledge of the self. So, the science of life and just understanding the body and its natural rhythms is an Ayurveda, is to assess our dosha, which is the combined elements. Vata is air and space, Pitta is fire and water, Kapha is earth and water. And by assessing those balances and imbalances that we have in the body through those doshas, we're able to get to the root cause and get you back in more of that synchronistic circadian rhythm approach that Ayurveda itself is.
Yes. And I love that because if you guys have been working with me already, you've already seen the 5 element system broken up into their individual categories. And so this is just another method to kind of give you a greater understanding of why it's not one size fits all and why things can be so similar, but yet so different.
Exactly.
So if someone was struggling and they're looking for a more holistic side to treat themselves, what would be maybe a few reasons why people might come to you? And then what does your new client assessment look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So people can come for many different reasons. Maybe they just want to learn more about Ayurveda and what it's about. They might be having a hard time sleeping. They might be struggling with anxiety, a lot of worry, or maybe even depression. A lot of times people come to an Ayurvedic consultation because of their digestive issues, which is primarily one of the things that we focus on in Ayurveda is our digestive health. So if you notice that your elimination is off, maybe you're having a hard time eliminating more than or less, you're having a hard time eliminating once a day, and you maybe see yourself going only like 2 or 3 times a week, or you're going 2 to 3 times a day. That's a huge indicator on maybe having to come in for a service. It could be for weight loss, it could be for maybe learning some of the anti-aging benefits of Ayurveda. So there's so many things under the umbrella that you can come to a service for. A basic consultation is basically going to be it's to be 90 minutes. So 30 minutes of that is going to be a one-on-one interview that'll take about 30 minutes over Zoom or over the phone. I prefer to do over the Zoom because that way I can see what you look like. And that's how I assess your prakriti, which is your main dosha, your whole body constitution. And then after that, we meet in person for 60 minutes and we go over the general protocol that I've created for you. And then we have another 30-minute follow-up after that. So just some general maintenance. If you're having questions on, hey, I'm having a hard time with this, we'll kind of work on that together to get you to the point where you need to be.
So if I were to come in for a new client session, what would I be kind of walking away with knowledge wise or treatment plan wise or anything of that? Like, what do I get out of my new client besides just my overall picture of health?
Absolutely. So everyone is going to come away with something a little bit different, but primarily what you will have is you'll have a diet and meal recommendations. We'll also be creating a daily routine specific to your lifestyle. So routine is one of the most key factors in Ayurveda. And because of how Western society is, all of our daily routines are completely different. So the goal is to bring some regularity into your life. So that's going to be one main thing. Herbal recommendations, if that's something that we feel like might help with the digestion or maybe any other imbalances that you have. I love my herbs that I take. I take probably more than I need to, but I just love how they make me feel. So I take my herbs every day as well. Um, we also work on a specific yoga routine for you that I'll give to you to take home. One thing that people always, what I always find is people who are pitta dominant, which is going to be that fire element, that fire and water. Yep. Ariel's definitely pitta. And love the vinyasa practice. They like that heat, they like to get moving. However, a yin practice is something that's going to be more cooling and get their mind to become more calm instead of, I need to do this, I need to do that. So, creating a specific yoga routine for your dosha, as well as a meditation practice. Meditation is key in Ayurveda. I personally recommend transcendental meditation, but I also do meditation specific to your dosha. We also work on creating a specific sleep routine for you. So making sure you're getting to bed at a certain time. And that could even be creating an evening dinacharya, which is just an evening routine. So maybe an oil massage, just reading for a few moments, and not just being in front of the TV and Netflix and chilling like we all like to do. And then we even talk about activities that bring you joy, because that's one thing I notice a lot in clients is they come in here and they're just kind of worn out. They're sad. They don't have time for things that they love. So we want to bring that aspect of joy into your life. And then if you really want to go a little bit deeper, I have some astrologers that I work with. And if you want to learn more about your astrology, Vedic astrology is a huge part of Ayurveda. So I might even refer you to one of my astrologers that I work with. But you get like a nice big packet of all things
Okay, it
that'll
sounds
help
like,
keep you.
yeah. And so for those that are like listening to this and they're like, holy buckets, this is a lot of information and I don't know if I'm prepared for that. What does it look like for them to continue that work with you with your follow-up sessions? Because new client assessments for any of us, whether you're working with me or Katie or other practitioners, that first session can be that aha moment that you're like, holy buckets, I had no clue. But then you're left going, holy buckets, I don't know how to like take any of this and go anywhere with it. So all of our practitioners have follow-up sessions and programs. So what does it look like to kind of say yes to you and working through your type of treatment plans moving forward?
Absolutely. So, like I tell everyone, it's one step at a time, one day at a time. A lot of this can be very intense when you first receive the information. Like I said, some people will come to me and they're in perfectly good health. They just want to learn more about Ayurveda and how to integrate it into their lifestyle, and they pick up and they go with it. But then sometimes it takes a little bit longer because the older that we get, the more established we are with certain routines and beliefs. So it's kind of having to chip away things one step at a time. And so that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help kind of guide you and just be that support. And that's what these follow up consultations are about. So, say you're just running into a block, like, Katie, I cannot get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, we'll talk about what's going on in your life that is preventing you from being able to do that. And we'll work around that. And, you don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning right away. That is my recommendation. Maybe be in bed by 10 o'clock and up at 6 a.m. But we want to take it one step at a time, one day at a time. So maybe you're an 8 a.m. riser. So we want to chip off maybe a half hour a day each day until we finally get to that 6 a.m. time. And then your body starts to adjust to it and you're not going in like cold turkey, like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I hate this. I hate Ayurveda. We don't want that. We want you to love it. And we want you to love your lifestyle. So that's kind of what I'm here for. That's what these follow-up sessions are for. They're for me to help support you. I can even meet you at the grocery store. Say you're like running into a roadblock. Like, I don't know what foods I'm supposed to have. This list is so just intense. So I would come to the grocery store with you, go grocery shopping, help you pick out the foods, help you read the labels so you can actually see the ingredients and everything. Because I'll tell you what, once I started Ayurveda, I started reading labels, and there is sugar in basically everything that we buy. And sugar is not bad, but we want to make sure that we're having it in a moderate amount. So that's another thing that I could help do. And just, pick up the phone and call me. That's what I'm here to help, just support you on your journey.
That's so exciting. I love when my practitioners or any practitioners allow that like 24-hour support type thing. Like, yes, we're not on call 24/7, but we do provide that level of comfort knowing that if you shoot us an email or a text or a phone call, we're going to get back to you in a pretty reasonable amount of time, so that you're not feeling lost and going, oh my gosh, I don't feel good and I don't know what to do. So we are really excited that Katie's joining our team at Tranquility Rising. And if you want to book your session with her, you can actually head to tranquilityrising.com and go under book a new appointment, and you'll see all of our services, whether it's new client, follow-up services, add-ons, or packages. And if you're not sure where to start, always go to that new client session. So thank you for joining us today, Katie.
Thank you. And one thing I'll just kind of leave you guys with is the difference, I guess the main difference with Ayurveda versus maybe going to a general doctor, and I don't want to say that I am a doctor because I'm not, is we're always working to get to the root of the cause. So oftentimes people will go to the doctor, I can't sleep, I have insomnia, and you get prescribed a sleeping pill. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to that root. We're going to make sure that you're sleeping well, and that's just one example. But Ayurveda is always about getting to the root. So if you're ready to dive deep, I'm here to be your support for that.
I was like, I love that. It kind of reminds me of like, we're going to rip off the Band-Aid that Western medicine has given you, and we're going to actually find the root cause of the issue. And maybe Western medicine is a little bit of a key part of that, but a lot of it is the holistic side too.
Yeah, we can integrate everything together. So it's all about finding that balance that works for you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. And we are excited for you guys to meet Katie in the studio.